In fact, we were using levels recommended by Mike and other studies that he was doing with looking at chlorination or disinfection byproducts and like. So dechlorinated with sodium sulfite, processed it through our method, and you can see the result. That effluent sample still had the 4-MCHM, or still had the MCHM. But that large tentatively identified compound that we looked at in the earlier chromatogram was gone. So it looked to be that the chlorine, the presence of the chlorine in the samples and our extraction process were creating this tentatively identified compound. So here we've got an example, chromatograms where we show that the house sample without the dechlorination, this peak is still here. And then the house sample that's been dechlorinated with the sodium sulfite, that peak is gone. So now we're understanding this, that some of these tentatively identified compounds, also referred to as breakdown products to the extent, are really a function of our handling of the sample, result of the surrogate standards, chlorine interacting with the surrogate standards, chlorine interacting with something in the extraction solvent that we were using for analysis. So our final conclusions are that we found no extraneous compounds that we could not explain as analytical artifacts, meaning they were things that as we worked through the process, it was being introduced as a part of the analytical process. So there were no extraneous compounds in the water. The 4-MCHM appears to be the only compound that we're currently detecting in the house samples. And as we've seen in the earlier indications presentation from Andrew, we're average of around 2.4 parts per billion. And as a result of this work, we've discovered the likelihood that the low levels of MCHM are still coming out of West Virginia American treatment plant. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chuck. Thank you very much, Dr. Eaton. This almost never happens when you give a seminar, but we're actually ahead of schedule. So what I'm going to suggest we do is that we actually stick with the schedule that we've currently got, just in case anybody else is coming back. I will suggest that everybody plan to be back in this room at 11 o'clock, and we will start promptly at 11:05. Chuck Neslin just mentioned to you that people tend to get glossy-eyed when they talk about chemistry. Our next talk, which is given by yours truly, is about statistics. And it's not only the audiences that tend to gloss their eyes over, but even my colleagues tend to, their eyes tend to gloss over when I do my statistics presentations. So I'll ask you all to get limber, relax, come back in, and we will get into the statistics. And what I'll be speaking about is the design of a larger sampling program based on the 10-home sampling project. So with that, let's take a break until 11 o'clock. Please be back in here promptly. We will begin at 11:05. Thank you.